So we'll call the meeting in order, and we do have, thankfully, an established forum today, so that's good, and we're taking the attendance. No presentation, so I kind of thought maybe it was time to do like a little business discussion, go around the table and discuss anything that you might have going on. That might be something that we could bring to the attention of the members. And even though we did have some minutes, right, from the last meeting, we still need to approve them. Even though it wasn't a quorum, so I'm asking for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Under old business, was there anything new with Impact?
Nothing yet. I was actually just thinking about it a couple days ago. I think we're gonna schedule a meeting, I think, to update the plan and then possibly drill on it like next year.
That kind of brings up an interesting point, because I was looking at our search plan, and we established the final plan in August of 2019. So we're kind of getting close to, I'm not absolutely sure how far out we should go.
We usually do 5 years or around there. That doesn't change much, but we should have, because the heavily involves hazardous material response, and so we should have the fire coordinator have his input on it.
And we didn't have.
Is that when we finished it? Because we did it for a while.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on this plan.
Yeah.
And
Finished it in 19?
it was the final
Oh, okay.
that I have.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
final,
so, we can look at,
well, we might have to add things like Impact.
yeah, if you want, that's got its own plan.
Yeah, Impact has some separate plan,
What's that?
and it probably wasn't added because at one point it was pretty.
We don't
secret.
have SEPA.
How many have
SEPA,
that?
we're scheduled to do
Plan?
SEPA in November.
I mean, I have it as the chairman, but does anybody else have that plan to look at?
I probably do.
I probably do.
I mean,
probably
if you
have
want, we can,
a lot of variations.
maybe we can resend it.
Yeah.
To everybody, on email or whatever.
Yeah, it's just, we don't release that to the public.
So we should probably take a look at it and decide what changes need to be made. I think you're right. I think we should look at 5 years, not 10 years.
I mean,
I can't believe how fast the time went by.
yeah, I know. Wow, we had a pandemic in between.
Let's blame everything on COVID.
Oh, yeah. When you're focused on that for 2 years, that goes by quick.
So we'll send it out and then I'll take a look at it and maybe we can talk about it at some future meeting. And then under new business, I have, Kevin Johnson, right? 9/11. He was gonna come today. However, he had another commitment, but he's definitely gonna be at the November 18th meeting. So I made a note on it on number 5 that he's gonna be here. He's gonna talk a little bit about what he sees down the pike in the future and what they're doing there. I believe Rob is doing the grants, right? Yeah, so Rob is doing grants, but he has a heads up on that. But Rob is going to continue doing grants and our 9/11 coordinators, Kevin. And I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but if there's a disaster, they get the call there first, right? 911.
Yeah, usually, typically when something bad happens,
They'll get the
people
call.
call 911
All right.
to report damage and all that stuff. And Rob is going to remain as a deputy director of emergency management to still do grants and
Okay.
even after his consulting bit is done.
Okay. So you'll be at our November 18th meeting.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. I'll go around the table. It's going to be a short meeting because we don't have a speaker, but
Well, Kevin's not here, but the new 911 facility over at 50 Grandinetti Drive is, I think they're gonna be in it by September.
Yeah, somewhere's around there.
Yeah, they're supposed to be done by September and in it, and it looks like they're gonna make that, which is good. We got a couple other things going on. We're just finishing up. They just asked for some minor changes to our hazard mitigation grant, plan, countywide plan. So we're working on that, and, what else did we ask? We had a couple exercises.
Yeah, we did the exercises, fireman's home.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good. Got a talent sheet in it. Oh, there you go.
So, that's about it.
Okay.
What was the fireman's home exercise scenario?
It was an earthquake that caused, natural gas and power outage, and then within the facility, there were water pipes that broke. Well, they had a odor of natural gas outside by the maintenance building, and inside they had an upstairs, third floor water pipe that they couldn't shut off. It had to be shut off by DPW. And they also had, other minor injuries, things like that. But yeah, we made it so they had an odor of natural gas. And actually, Central Hudson came and participated. And we did, so they, due to the earthquake, there were valve problems and all that, so they couldn't deal with it anyway. Required a full evacuation. So it was good.
Excellent, thank you.
So this was a mock drill?
It was, yeah, tabletop.
Tabletop?
Yeah.
They, so where does fireman home? Where would they evacuate to?
They have a New York State system. There's a whole system on there.
Yeah, there's a state system that every day the different nursing homes report their census to, and they can essentially just disperse them throughout the state.
Yeah, it could be several different places.
Yeah.
And then, it's a mass casualty type of thing where, county EMS is gonna call on a bunch of ambulances. They went through the process of accountability and how each patient has medical information that goes with them. And some, every day they have a number that are, bedbound, that are ambulatory. So, how they would deal with all that, where they would load people. The fireman's home is pretty well set up, as far as their emergency plans and,
And they're required to do that, right?
oh yeah, they require all the.
Once a year?
Wow, they have to do different types of drills every
Okay,
year.
okay.
Wow. Not full drills, but. And, all the nursing homes were invited in the county, but only one sent people. It was Kent Rehab, sent their administrative people, which was good, just to observe and give some input.
Yeah, it looked like that was gonna continue, get rehab and fireman's home, we're gonna work together and some planning and things like that for the future and stuff, so. Turned out to be a win-win.
Seems like Ghent has already kind of made some steps in that direction because they did actually invite the fire departments in 2 weeks ago. Good. And they did a full walkthrough, gave them the schematics, and so we've never had that.
Yeah, I think they really wanna make sure that things are ready. And the other one was, we've done one with Pine Haven in the past with the owners. I don't know who owns it now. The company owns it, but they wanted one. We did that a few years ago. That might have been just before it was.
Yeah, I wasn't in here for that.
So actually, I think we were part of that.
Oh, it's good that they practice that. There's no question about it. You never know what's gonna happen. Anything new.
Nice egg. So we just, are basically just doing some maintenance on our circuits. No big projects that I'm aware of for Columbia County this year. We filed our rate plan in May, or actually in June. And that'll take a good 11 months, if not longer, to settle, to come to an agreement with the Public Service Commission. So I don't expect anything from that until next June, May timeframe. There are some projects, a number of different upgrade projects around the state that are involved and are part of that, both due to mandates by the state and some of our own that we need to upgrade. So that's part of the rate case. We'll know more on what we propose and what come out. It's never the same. So a lot of stuff gets mulched up and spit out and, put on hold for some other time. So that's still going through. And once we have an idea of what projects are for Columbia County, I can report that next year. So otherwise, tree trimming is still maintained. We're still trimming the circuits. We are on a cycle trim for that area this year, starting this year. So we'll continue to do that. And then I'll have a list of what circuits are going to be trimmed next year. So we're just now starting to look at projects of what we're going to do at the beginning of next year. So those projects are being submitted now. And then it'll take a few months for us to go through the whole internal process of approval for this, postpone for that, what shape are we in. But for tree trimming, we're doing a lot of reclamation projects. We've got like 3 or 4 reclamation projects along the different divisions or the different counties, which is Washington, Saratoga, Rensselaer, and Columbia. So Columbia is in pretty good shape as far as I don't think there's any reclamation circuits. And reclamation circuits are those circuits that haven't been trimmed in years, and in some cases a couple decades. So those are mostly Washington County and Rensselaer and Saratoga County. So, but basically, we're in pretty good shape here in Columbia County because this is where the majority of our folks are. And the smart meters are basically installed in Columbia County. There's a few stragglers that we'll need to come back to. Typically, those are seasonals that either we weren't able to get into the home or we're not able to get in touch with the customer at the time that we were there to change out change out the meters. So that's going on. So we should start to see a pretty good result as far as outages go. The meters will notify us immediately when the power is out. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because that kind of gives us a better idea, a more accurate idea of where the extent of the outages, where they're at, and hopefully we won't need them. But we're doing good so far, knock on wood. We're only on major storm number 5 for the whole state, and it's already August. So typically we're 15, 18, storm 18 by now. So we've been really good. So we'll see what happens. Weather forecast for the fall and winter is looking to be cold and a little snowy.
Yeah,
So
that's what I hear.
Colder
you
the
know,
better.
Yeah.
As far as I'm.
yeah, well, cold is better because then that way it's less icing
Exactly.
and more fluffy snow. So
Yeah.
bring it on. We'll take
Yeah.
20 inches of fluffy snow any day.
Exactly. I would rather have it.
So,
Catamount needs the snow this year.
Well, that-
It did not do
exactly.
well last year.
no, they did not. So we had a little bit more at the beginning of the season. I think we had a little bit more icing. And then we just didn't get the snowstorms.
No.
I mean, again, going through the winter and not having, again, only 2 major storms have hit this area, this part of the state in the last 6-8 months. So that's, I mean, I've worked for the company for 32 years and I can't ever remember the least amount of the storms.
We're
are
okay
just-
with that though.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
It's been cold.
yes,
It's cold. It's been
and I
cold.
think that's gonna continue, so.
Question for you on the smart meters.
Yes, sir.
It'll tell you if the power's out at a single residence. Does it get granular enough, your programming, to where it'll identify high-risk residents there, home medical products, things like that?
The customers still have to let us know. That's,
Well,
I
I
mean,
know that, but if
but-
they're already on the list,
Oh, yeah.
when that meter goes out, does it flag something in your
Yes.
system automatically, or is that more of a search? for you?
no, there's a flag, whenever a customer signs up as a critical customer or life-sustaining equipment customer, they're automatically flagged on our system. And they stay flagged. That account will stay flagged until
Nice.
they let us know and until we petition the Public Service Commission to remove the flag. We cannot remove the flag from a LSE customer until they get the okay. So, and we've got a, document saying either the person moved out or they passed away, or something has changed in the household that they no longer need that
Mhm.
identification. Otherwise, it stays, it flags it in our system, and then we start working through it whenever there's a major outage.
They can't get a hold of them, so you have to check,
Yeah, right.
to actually
That-
talk to them. They
Right.
call us.
Yeah,
We usually call the sheriff's office, or actually we call you guys. You guys are great sometimes, If it's a snow and you can't get up into it or whatever.
Yeah.
And somebody goes and
But I mean, these meters they're amazing, and we're still learning what the capabilities of them are. We did not realize that they send out a voltage. If there's a high voltage on the meter itself, it sends it dings it to our system and sends it out on a report. We never had that before.
Hmm.
And basically what happens is if there's high voltage, what's happening is there's something happening with jaws typically. The meters themselves they just plug into the socket.
Right.
Well, the jaws in the meter box typically will loosen up over time, just like any other breaker. And then that will send micro arcing. That will send a signal to our system in Binghamton, and it kicks out on a report saying, you need to check this out.
Hmm.
It takes the temperature. If the temperature of the meter starts to rise significantly, there's something going on. We'll send somebody out to take a look at that. So, I mean, we're starting to learn these things, and it's only on our side that we can tell. We really can't tell too much on the customer side unless it's right there at the box. So if a customer is having something happen inside their breaker panel, we're not going to know that. So, but it's amazing.
my electric bill did not go up after I got mine.
That's good. It's not, wasn't supposed to unless something else is
Well,
going on. So.
We got
People know
Facebook,
that.
everybody complaining.
Oh, yeah.
That's because there was, all three companies in our county had increases.
Yeah.
And
You can't
some
look-
of them came right around the time,
You can't look at the dollar sign because the supply rate's going to vary every month. Actually, it varies every hour. If you look at the market, the price of electric and gas, it's just like any other commodity. It will fluctuate with the market, and it does it every hour. When you get your bill, though, it's summarized into an average during that time period, and that's what you get. That's what we bill customers. So it's whatever it's charged to us, we charge to customers. So it's a pass through for all the utilities. And that's true with National Grid, Central Hudson, O&R, whatever company that you have. It's not something that we have control over for the supply. The delivery, again, is controlled by the Public Service Commission. So they tell us when and how much we can charge. So again, that delivery is based on the rates. So
of course, New York State, and they're in control of the solar construction too.
yeah,
But-
so
Maybe next meeting you can talk about the deadlines that New York State has for all.
I have
Not
no
now.
idea about
not
that.
now. I think that's the time.
Yeah.
Well, they're backing off on it.
I found it interesting because in July we had those couple of hot days. So I got a text message from NYSEG. Your usage for the last 3 days is, I went from like 11 to 24. So it was a huge increase, like more than double, because I was using, air conditioners 24/7.
Yeah.
But I thought it was nice that they sent a text message, so I was aware how much more electricity I was
While,
using.
while we're talking about that, I'm glad you brought it up. Because, well, we have a long time person here and you guys, maybe you can answer this. We're getting updates now from the Power Authority. Something that when there's a high demand that we never got before. And I may have missed the email, but all of a sudden we started
No.
getting that.
That's new to us as well.
Oh, all right. Do you know how that came about or?
No, I think it's just
I
they have
can,
the ability to send. that
Because when
message
there's a
out.
high demand,
Yeah.
right,
emergency managers get an email now saying, we're not there. There's different levels, like anything. And when it gets to a certain level, they email all the emergency managers in each county and say, we're at this point, may go to before, may go to an issue where we're gonna have to cut back on certain areas, I guess, which is fine.
I think it's more of just a emergency messaging for your own planning purposes and things like that. I don't think there's a true initiative that
I
forces.
don't even know.
That I'm aware of.
Authority like that.
Yeah.
Is that new? Do you know if that's new?
What's
Power Authority,
that they,
that over New York State Power Authority that oversees the grid and all that?
oh, yeah, no, that's not.
That's been around.
yeah, they should have had that all along. I can certainly ask our guys,
I
if
think
that
that
is, if that's a new policy, because my thinking is it is just a new
Yeah.
policy that they're trying to let people know as much as
Yeah, it's
possible.
not, it
Because,
doesn't come from it comes from New York State.
yeah, and yeah, they've had that data all along.
So they just haven't-
Professionals, and they communicate with the power companies,
right,
but I think it's new. I don't know that there's a driving initiative that
Okay.
forced that, though. I think it's just a new policy to just share the information and things like that.
it's, yeah, I think it's just their attempt to be transparent, which is good. I mean, you're gonna get sick and you may get sick and tired of all of them, but at least you guys know. Because we get notified whenever there is a potential of having a curtailment, we'll be notified a day or two before the actual event to say when it's
What do you
going to
mean when
take
there's
place.
more demand than there is supply, like thing?
No, when there's, if they need us to curtail for a certain area where we start having brownouts or we have to do the rolling brownouts. Thank God we haven't had to do that since the early to late nineties, I think it was. I can't remember the last time we had a curtailment, with the region. And that's basically because of the fact there's not enough.
I can remember when I was at the sheriff's office, National Grid would contact us because we had the big generator, just to run the generator to feed back in.
Right.
I don't think we ever did. I pushed that up the chain, but I don't think we ever did.
They used to do it to state agencies too, to turn the temperature up in the buildings and turn off unnecessary lighting, stuff like that. It happened for many years.
Yeah. And we actually have a curtailment program at NYSEG where if customers, both commercial and residential, want to sign up for the curtailment program, typically we'll give them, they have to have like a Nest thermostat. And then they have to sign up with us for, well, many times the commercial customers will do this because they get paid for those events. And they get paid whatever the going rate is on the market for kilowatt, for demand. They'll get paid that for the 4 hours or whatever, but they've got to curtail. If they don't get curtailed, then they get kicked out of the program. Residential customers can now do it because now the capability is there with the Nest things that if they want to participate in it, they've got to, that's the only time that we would have control over changing the thermostat setting. Otherwise, we can't, we're not going to do anything.
Well, as
A lot
long
of
as,
customers are.
it seems like this goes along with the more demand that has to do with electric cars and all this stuff. It's gonna be more demand.
Right.
on the supply.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the future is going to be because that's something that's got to be at the public service and the legislative level. We just can't go in and take over and say, by the way, we're just going to kick up your air conditioning to 80 or 78 so it doesn't turn on. We can't do that.
And I
That's
thought-
not
I
our
think
property.
That's why they
So
started this, which is a good idea.
Our fuel company does that. Like we have the air conditioning and they kick it up like on a day like today, they'll kick it up to 78. They send you a text
okay,
saying to save energy we're
Who's
keeping it
that?
up.
So you must,
Here.
so you must have signed up for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, when they installed our new furnace and central
Oh,
air and
it's- So
everything.
your furnace is
Yeah.
connected?
It's pretty cool,
That's
because we're not home, so,
Right.
but I mean, my husband.
It's a
controls
smart
it, so-
thermostat.
It is,
It's
yeah,
Like that,
yeah. And they do it on, you sign up for it, and you get a discount for
Right.
signing up for
For
it.
that
Yeah.
time period that you're
Yeah.
doing it, so, yeah.
Now, can you override it?
Yes,
You have central air?
A friend of mine does it, so I have not signed up for it. Probably should, yeah.
June, we did the semi-annual reviews with the power companies at Blue Sky meetings and stuff like that, which was good. We review all the essential customers, those kind of things there, kind of just stay in contact and talk about projects that are happening in our area. We met with all three companies and all was good.
Good.
I don't have anything new. Just been working on some, one thing actually is the whole overdose thing, but that doesn't really pertain much here. That's been a big topic the last couple months, so hopefully that'll be coming to an end soon. And then hopefully, maybe by November, should have some updates to the ChemPack plan.
Yeah. And like I said, I encourage everyone to look at that CERT plan when we get it out.
Yeah.
Good. Red Cross?
So in October, we are going to be doing our Be Red Cross Ready like fire safety trainings at all of the senior centers here in Columbia County. So I'm excited to connect with the Office of the Aging. So we're going to be able to provide those, and we're also going to promote our free smoke alarm program to them, because we do have smoke alarms for the deaf and hard of hearing. So that's going to be a good program to spread out to them. Another thing we're working on, I've been working with Michelle from Department of Social Services to try and get the auxiliaries for Columbia County to become Red Cross volunteers so they can help us respond to house fires. We've noticed in Columbia County in particular, we don't have that many volunteers. So we do definitely need to increase like our footprint whenever there is a house fire. So pretty much what they'd be able to do is provide that financial assistance to homeowners whose home has been like destroyed or has had major damage.
That's excellent, because I had a house fire in 1995. And, I didn't see anybody, any
Really?
Red Cross enough, no. But that was, back in 95, so.
You have to, was it an apartment building or
Oh,
just your house?
it was in a house, entire house. Oh, that was an apartment in the house, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, our hope is definitely to get to as many people as we can. We have noticed though that we're resulting more in virtual responses because we don't have the people and that can go in person. We still have everyone who calls us. We just sometimes have to do it like over the phone and do electronic fund transfers over going in person and providing that stuff. So we're hoping that this can be some help and also provide like more engagement opportunities for the auxiliaries.
Excuse me, just, who triggers it?
What was that?
How do you find out who triggers it? If somebody has a home disaster with a fire,
So I believe there's a fire coordinator.
fire coordinator?
calls the
Yeah,
Red
so we're-
Cross National.
I've been working with Michelle on it, and we sent a letter to the county auxiliary group who, is gonna put it out to their membership, and they seem like they wanna do it. Would be to help with shelters also, and go through that training, only when they can, That's why a countywide group is good, because if there's an issue up here, you can have people from down here. And the fire coordinator agreed that he would offer I am responding to a special group in that to notify people that are trained in this, auxiliary people, because most fire companies have their auxiliary, and I am responding as well. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so they have to figure out like the process of it, but yeah, we're trying to recruit people first and then, but yeah. And the final thing we're working on is throughout this past year, we're updating our shelter surveys, and we have till the end of the year to upload them to our new site, WebEOC. So we'll be transferring every shelter site that we had in our previous system to this new system. And one of the things I need to connect with you guys is about which ones are going to be our primary shelters, which ones are secondary shelters, and which ones we just want to get rid of and not have as shelter sites anymore. So that's definitely a conversation I'll have with you guys before the end of the year. But yeah, that's all the updates for the Red Cross.
So then maybe you can report once you guys finalize the list and
Yeah, we have an agreement with the Red Cross to oversee all that, and then we work closely with them to make sure, because their list can change every year, really every month,
Yeah.
depending on what places want to be, and then they go in, they inspect it, and they have an agreement. And they do a good job, the Red Cross does a good job with that.
Work in progress, but we got several sites updated. So yeah, by next meeting we could definitely share that out. Let everybody know which ones are primary,
The
secondary.
thing is, people think if they have, like in Hudson, if you have a major thing here, you may not have the shelter in Hudson, maybe in Greenport, or, it's not gonna be right where the damage is usually. So,
all right,
no plan.
sounds good. Anything else, sir?
Yep, that's
I didn't want to pass you by.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good,
Yeah,
thanks.
good.
No, I don't really have anything. We have been receiving, did Chris get back to you?
Yes.
Apparently those two generators were in the back.
Yeah.
He told us they came, but.
I sent an email to the Navy.
Yeah.
No biggie, it's just New York City.
Yeah.
I'll just make up a date of when they
Quite
arrive.
honestly, I had given up on everything. I'm like, oh yeah, it's New York State. We're never gonna see it.
It's gonna show up, but you just don't know when.
Yeah.
They're not gonna tell you when I get there.
Okay, so you got your two
We
generators?
got two generators.
Yeah, I sent you an email.
Yeah. No, other than that, like we talked earlier, it's been a fairly quiet summer.
Oh, sorry.
Knock on wood.
I know. So we really haven't had a lot of the damage that we normally have in terms of flooding. It does seem like, and I know everybody here has seen it, when we do get these rainstorms.
Yeah, especially if you get like that hurricane, you're watching that hurricane very carefully right now. What is it, what's the name of it, Aaron or something?
Yeah.
Aaron hasn't developed into a hurricane yet, but they're not sure where that thing's gonna go.
Yeah.
And in the past, I mean, we had a 100-year event in Greenport. I got flooded out. I mean, it was just terrible because the ground was so hard. There's no place for the water to
Yeah.
go in, and it just runs off everywhere. And that we could really have a serious issue if we get hit by a major storm right now.
One thing I just want to bring out, and people really don't understand, because, they're not part of it, but our DPW Highway Department played a big role in public safety when all this stuff happens. And just routine stuff like the digital messaging boards, when there's mass gatherings and things like that, they're very good when they can, when they're not, when they're not already, because there's a limited number of them. I know we're getting a couple as part of this flood mitigation program, but they really, you guys do a great job, and it makes a big difference with traffic and accidents and, keeping drivers and vehicles out of a congested area, and you really do a good job with that. Thank you.
We move them constantly all over the county,
It makes.
not
it
only for emergencies, but different events. I mean.
Oh,
people
mass
are reaching out
gatherings.
to mass gatherings, any kind of traffic, pattern changes, anything like that. They're constantly, being moved all over the place.
It definitely makes a difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gary,
Sure.
what do you got?
First, I want to introduce Sam Trappy. She's our new zone coordinator for the Catskill Mountain Zone, but this is her first opportunity to come to an LEPC meeting. So this is her first introduction to what an LEPC is. So welcome, Sam. Second, we're in hurricane season, but we're coming to the peak hurricane season soon, just to bear on a topic and to mention that it has been a quiet summer. Yeah. Thanks.
They mentioned it earlier.
So anyway, with that, I strongly recommend all the county agencies look at Hurricane Helene wiped out North Carolina last year, as we remember, but also remember one of the local messaging was, this has never happened here before. We never thought this would happen here because it's never happened before. They didn't pay attention because in 2011, Tropical Storm Lee came up from the Gulf Coast. This is right after Irene. It saturated the land and it devastated most of New York and areas that wouldn't have that type of flooding and impact that it had. And that went up in, Irene and Lee both went up into Burlington. Burlington definitely has not had a huge hurricane impact, you know, but it devastated there. So they weren't paying attention to past history where these things happen where they don't normally happen before. So with that, I recommend everybody go back and look at their own agency systems and how these hurricanes or how these major storms might impact us in ways they haven't before. We're getting thunderstorms that drop 6 inches of rain on a routine basis now, you know, and then we get the flash flooding from that. So you take a thunderstorm 6 inches, what's the hurricane going to bring potentially? You know, and how's that going to impact us with flooding and winds and all that stuff to go along? So, you know, as we come into the peak hurricanes, just dust off your plans and look at your plans and go with that. To go with the messaging, the very message boards also, we had the new initiative this year that the 33311, which is basically New York Alert, but it's it's much easier to sign up for. You just text 33311, put in Columbia, and you'll get emergency messaging directed specific for Columbia. And you can do multiple counties. You work in a different county, you live in a different county.
There's a
whatever.
direction on our website.
So I kind of recommend making that more of a public messaging initiative too, to send that out and say, this is another way that we can give you critical information if you sign up for this. And if you need more information to distribute, we can help you with that.
Yeah, that insight.
Yeah, we made, back when they told us.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We did a, social media blast. It's on our website and.
Yeah.
But we'll do it with more. We're gonna
Yeah, I
add it to
recommend
our
everybody-
brochures.
Right, so we coming into the hurricane season and September is a preparedness month, you know, but maybe push that out again, try and get more people to sign up for it. It's that easy. 3331111 is you text to, you put in the word Columbia. And
Anybody can do it on their.
anybody can do it on their phone, yep, their smartphone.
Okay.
Okay, so you put 333 and then you just put in Columbia.
33311.
I'm sorry, 333-111 and then
Go to
you
our
just put in
in Columbia
Okay.
or whatever county or counties that you want. You
Okay.
can do.
Oh, you can do multiple
You
at the
can do
same time.
multiple
Oh,
counties, absolutely. You can do multiple. And what's slightly different than New York, New York Alert is for New York Alert, when you sign up, you can get everything from NCON, sewer spillovers and things like that. This is specific. It comes from our agency at the Watch Center. It'll be weather specific. It'll be highway specific. It'll be heat related, those types of things. Long-term power outages, they'll send that out as well. If there's sheltering information, we can send it out through there, all that stuff. But it's targeted to just the emergency management, emergency preparedness, public messaging, not
We can submit,
not everything.
we can submit info for them to put out.
You can. I believe you can. I believe you can.
Because the only information
I'd have
I've
to
got
verify.
from that is from you.
Yeah, I'd have to
Yeah,
verify.
anything
Right.
really.
Yeah, but I believe you can. So,
I just did it and it just got a message back. Thanks for signing up for emergency messages. Government, New York State Office of Emergency Management, and then there's a website too.
Yep. Now, one caveat also, if you're already subscribed to New York Alert and you sign up for this, now you have 2 accounts for the same type of messaging. You're going to get duplicate messaging, so you'll have to cancel one or the other, you know.
But it's not part of you.
It's
kind of.
related to it. Yes, it's related to it. There is a relationship there. So
You got an update on FEMA?
they're still working today.
Some people are
Administration wants to do away
No,
with it.
right. I don't have a true update on what the long-term outlook is for FEMA, but the drive is though, even at the state level now, is how are we going to prepare and operate recovery more on our own, less with.
Well, with the less funding, but New York State is set up very well.
We're in pretty good shape.
They're not gonna, like ICS and all that isn't gonna change. You guys can provide that training yourselves.
Even our recovery system is
Yeah.
pretty robust compared to other states. There are some states that are really going to be struggling with this. We're in much better shape. That's not to say we still don't rely on FEMA funding.
Oh, right.
Covering things like that.
Yeah,
But,
Funding, I think, is.
but, yeah, exactly. But we could probably manage the vast
You
majority of
got,
it.
I
on our
mean, New
own.
York State is set up pretty good, as far as that goes.
Yeah. That's it for me.
Good. Great meeting. Like this, when we go round table like this, I think it brings out a lot of, brings out a lot of discussion. We should do it more often. Next month, no, next month, better not. There's no way I can do it. November 18th, our next meeting, we're gonna have, Kevin Bronson and from 911. And then at some point, maybe we can have Red Cross back too.
Yeah.
So talk about, what you brought up and things like that. Next year, maybe we could do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else have anything else to bring up? Because I guess we got another meeting at 10. We're good, we're good.
Listen, we come in, we run over.
We're good. It was nice having you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Glad I could make it. Glad we could make it, all of us.
that was great that you came.
Do you need handouts or anything for the fair as far as 333, 111,
Yeah.
or the?
We have them, yeah, absolutely.
I'll try and get some. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be in the, 911. We're gonna have a space in the 911 building.
All right, okay. All right. I'll be at the kettle corn booth every day.
We'll have a section on our table for emergency preparedness stuff, so we can even put it on our.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We have a
That's
booth
part
right
of it,
in the yellow building, the two,
Okay.
We may give you some of our stuff too to put them
bring
right
it
over.
over.
The more the better.
We've cut out a lot of stuff, so we have a lot of room.
Yeah.
And the TAM, brochure.
Yeah,
The other thing is that when we get that 911, maybe we can wait on our meeting, maybe we can go there for a tour. or
Yeah,
something.
we can hold a meeting over there
Yeah,
anytime you
hold a
want.
meeting over
So,
Yeah.
Kelly is good with
Yeah,
it,
once
coming
I-
over.
Once that's been put together.
We just have to run it by the fire coordinator, because
Right.
they oversee the
Yeah.
scheduling. So,
Okay,
like if you wanted to do it for November, I would just send them an email and I could do that and say, let me know. Or you want to do it next year one
well, what
day.
about the planning as far as the new building? Would it be ready?
Well,
By
I wouldn't do it,
November?
I wouldn't do it the next meeting. I would wait until the meeting after
2026, okay, all right.
for tours.
And this date's working out for us, right? Having it on this Tuesday, okay. So I'll call for an adjournment and need a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Anybody second? Second. All in favor? Aye.